Hi everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I'm here in my dining room and I am in my pajamas. Just got out of bed not too long ago. And so don't worry about how I look. I'm fine. But I did look. I posed the question, what do you guys want to talk about? And somebody wanted me to do a reading on COVID-19, so I think I will do that. Here where we live, we are not, we're not in quarantine or anything like that. I do believe restaurants and bars are being closed though here. But I don't go to restaurants or bars, not because I don't like to, but because I always have to stay close to home. It's interesting because for many years now, I've had to hang around my house, taking care of my mom, who's 99 now, going to be 100. And, my husband and I rarely go to the movies. We rarely go anywhere together because somebody usually has to stay home with mom. So it's like I've been in training for this for years now. But luckily, I do my own thing. I have my own business. My husband does his own thing, and so we've been able to do okay with this. But for those of you who go out every day, this has to be very difficult. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say about this COVID-19 or the beer virus or 19. We've had to use a lot of code words for this because if they see or hear the word COVID-19 or any of that, they defund your video. Because, God forbid they don't want us talking about it. I don't know. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, so we have the Five of Cups here. This is just people are really upset. Okay, there's a sense of loss. Oops, I'm sorry about this. I have to figure out how this works. Okay, so we have a sense of loss. We have a sense of the Five of Cups really is about grieving over what's lost. But of course, not all is lost. There's some things that remain, some cups that remain full, and we just need to look up from our sorrow to find them. 5 as a number is a number of change, and I know a lot of us have been suffering the last 3.5 years now. Because not all of us have been suffering. Some of us have been in glee and happy that things are the way they are. But this virus is really the great equalizer. Let's see what's crossing the sorrow. Okay. Part of the issue here is that we don't know what's going on. The High Priestess is about secrets and things that aren't being said or things that aren't being revealed. It's also so in that respect, we are not being told. In part because maybe they don't know, but in part because the administration didn't want to, I don't know, panic people, or they didn't believe it themselves, whatever it is. So that's one level. Another level is the High Priestess is about utilizing your psychic sensitivities. And it's a challenge, right? It's in the challenge position. So we are being challenged to really sort of go to a place of quiet reflection. That's what the high priestess is, and the challenge is to find that place of reflection, to look within, to find the inner balance. And the high priestess is about silence as well. Um, I think that it's to know and to keep silent. So I think that our challenge is not to, it's like we have to talk about things, we have to know the information and all that, but um, going beyond that, um, creating scenarios. I don't know really how to say this. Sorry, I have a hair. I think it's attached to my glasses. That ever happened to you? It's like this really annoying little sensation over your nose. Let's see if it works now. Okay. Because I should have checked all that before I got on. All right. So, yeah, so the challenge is to be balanced, um, and on some level to know that all things serve. That's what I want to say there. Okay, let's see what's at the root of this. Okay, we have the Three of Cups. Well, that's interesting. A lot of cups. So the Three of Cups is about celebration. It's about happiness. It's about joy. It's about overflowing abundance. This card is actually one of the loveliest cards. Three of Cups is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, sorry about that. This beautiful woman. She has these cups overflowing. There are beautiful fruits at her feet. Um, it's about abundance. And it's very interesting that this would come up. I think this kind of reminds me back after 9/11, after that all happened, that there was an appreciation because of the loss of so many. There was an appreciation for what we had. There was an appreciation for our family. There was an appreciation for the people that we love, for the people that we work for. There was a real sense of unity that unfortunately, in my estimation, was wasted um, and turned into something else by the administration of the time. But there was this feeling of connectedness that had, I think it had been a long time, or certainly I hadn't ever felt in my lifetime. And tragedy will often do that. Tragedy will bring us closer together. The challenge here is that we're being asked not to get too close, but we can still love each other from afar. So that's good. Um, but there's also so okay. So let's just keep going, and I'll read the reading as a whole. In the past, okay, in the past we have the Hermit. So I feel like this is something something that wasn't seen because the Hermit does hide away. So there's this sense of hiding away. Um, that the knowledge was available, but you had to really look for it. Um, let's look at the sky. What's in the sky? We have the Three of Wands, looking for our ships to come in. Now, that card says to me that this is that things are still coming. Things are still coming. There's still more to come, and we can look at those places over the sea that had the situation that's in this situation, but a little further along, to kind of get a picture of what we're up against here. Okay, and we have the star at the and in the immediate future. It's interesting, all these this symbology of all these cups and all of this pouring down. The star is about having is aspirational. It's about having a guiding star. It's also the card of meditation. One of the things that I want to talk about and I don't know if people are talking about this, but um, you know, things are going to, biological things happen, right? And there's a process, and you go through a process, and there are ways of mitigating some of the things, uh, you know, self-isolation and all of that, and giving 6 feet, not hugging and kissing everybody, not shaking hands, all of that. We can get back to that. We don't have to become germaphobes or anything. Um, so there are things that we can do on a practical sense, but there's also things that we can do on a spiritual and emotional uh, and energetic plane that we need to be aware of. We are not, we are co-creative. We are co-creative. And the star card, as an outcome or immediate outcome card anyway, says to me that we can mitigate this if we visualize the alternative of, the worst case scenario. They're going to tell us the worst case scenario because they want us, first of all, to know that this is serious. Um, and oftentimes the worst case scenario, people keep watching and watching and watching, and they get, petrified and stuck, and and so it's important to be informed, but it's also important to keep a positive outlook and to actually meditate upon this so you can understand how this manifests in your life. And also, as a group, we can meditate and see, we can see the everything healed. We can visualize it because we are co-creative, and biological systems will respond to this. It seems to me from this reading that there's a lot of emotional energy to this virus. Now, I don't exactly know what that means, per se, but it's this overflowing energy. Like, it's just like we're just full. We're just full of maybe fear, or full of sorrow, or full of, I mean, we have been, quite frankly, wounded through this process and have had our wounds exposed. And now it's time to wash the wounds away. Now it's time to heal the wounds that are being exposed. And there are people out there who want to do that. So it's time for healing. And it's time for us to visualize the world that we want to see. I bring that up all the time in these readings, but it comes up that way. At least it comes up that way for me. How is it seen from the outside? Okay, the Knight of Cups. Here again, we have more cups. We have this guy on the horse, and he's wading through water here. So there's a lot of splashing. The cup is glowing. This is idealism. I think that, as this is the card for how it's seen from the outside, how like the rest of the world sees us going through this, um, there's a sense in America, I think, that we're above all of this. This isn't our thing. We can, overcome. We're not like those Chinese or those Europeans or those. And they're like, well, guys, you breathe air, you put your pants on one leg at a time. There you go. Here you go. So I also think there's a lot of course, empathy and love coming from other places as well. It's not just a nana thing, but I think that on some level they see this as a comeuppance, and not necessarily for America per se, but for the administration. Uh, Domestic situation. Okay. All right. So this is a waking up. This is a waking up. And I think what we're waking up to is a couple things. We're waking up for the need to, for better health care. the need for the government to be funded in such a way that it can deal with these issues. You know, these issues are only going to get more and more, this is going to happen more often. And the reason for that is because, yes, in fact, we're all connected, and we are sort of abusing the planet in such a way that the planet is going to, like any organism, it's going to fight to get rid of that which is hurting it, right? So we have to become in harmony with our environment instead of fighting it and thinking it's just a big piggy bank for the most wealthy of us to just, you know, stock away and, you know, keep the people. You know, it's just, it's crazy. It's so antithetical to my own um, perceptions of how the world needs to be. It's almost ridiculous to me. But we are waking up. I think we're waking up to the idea of a health system that serves everyone, not to have to worry about that. Um, in the richest country in the world, which is, you know, it'd be one thing if we were destitute, but we're not. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if I saw a video or I read something about it, but the health system in England was developed after World War II. They had nothing, and yet they realized that they had to take care of their people, and they did. So you don't have to have much to get started, and we have plenty. So I think this is just a wake up call for people to sort of see what's going on and stand up for their rights, quite frankly. Let's see, hopes and fears. Okay, justice. So we're hoping for balance. Some of us are hoping for justice. Outcome. Okay, we have the King of Cups. I see this as a king who loves his people. I don't see this as Trump. I don't see this as Putin. I see this as somebody who um, cares about his people. Now, is that Bernie Sanders? Is that Joe Biden? Quite frankly, it could be either one of them in this case. So I feel like this really is, from these cards anyway, this is really the death knell to Trump. I think that people want somebody who cares about them. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. We have the Four of Cups. That's a little bit more. The Ten of Wands. And the Victory card. The Six of Wands. I feel as though we have a little bit more suffering to do. There's going to be a lot of things that we have to handle, a lot of responsibilities. Things are going to have to be reorganized. It's going to be a period of great, great activity, but also really, really hard work. And then we have the Victory card. We will overcome this. And underneath it all is death. Underneath it all is death. And of course, we're going to lose people, as every country is losing people to this. But it is a process. Underneath it all is a process of transformation. It is a process of letting go that which no longer serves and rebuilding. Because the 13 vibration, right? The 13 is death is an ending, but it's also a new beginning. The 4 vibration of the 13 4 is about building. So it's death and rebirth. It's not just death. And so it's really about having to rebuild. And we are in a 2020 is a 4 vibration, and it's a year of building. It is a year of picturing what what our world can be. If you guys have an opportunity, you should check out my 2020, I think it was my 2020 Kabbalah, numerology, and astrology videos, because I talk about all of this stuff. You never really know how it's going to manifest itself. All right, so let's see. So that was what we need to know. I think that's sort of like a basic thing on the virus. Now, let me see if I can find my other deck. I think I'm going to use the Wild Unknown. I know a lot of people are worried about the financial stuff. It's very interesting, though, that none of these cards were pentacles. They were all cups. And so this is an emotional issue and an emotional healing. Of course, cups is water, is droplets. That's how it's spread. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what. Just want to make sure I have these in the right direction. Let's see what. If we can get a vibe on the financials with all of this. How is this affecting? Let's look at the economy. Let's look at the economy. Let's look at the economy. See, the thing is, this is what I'm feeling as I'm asking this question, that the resources are here for us. It has to be redistributed. Our focus has to be different. Let's see the finances, financial picture. Oops. Okay, let me just show you the card that popped out. We are all connected, folks. We are all connected. We are so interconnected. So if we think we have agency over the money, and even those people who have all the money think they have agency over the money, they don't, because each one of us can pull a string and completely change sort of the structure of things in a way. Interesting. All right, let's see the financial ramifications. We'll do it for the United States first, because that's where I live. And I think that's the person who asked me might have been from the States. Okay. That's just a guess, though. Alrighty. Ramifications, financial ramifications. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. Well, I got, oops, sorry. I got the Justice card reversed. So this is a sense of things are out of balance. Okay. Well, when, what is it? The upper 0.1% own more than the bottom, like 99%. I mean, it's just turned upside down. Let's see the crossing card here. Let's see. These all upside down. No. The crossing card is the Lovers. It was upside down. So this is the Lovers is basically the choices that we make. And being upside down, I feel like it's like we got ourselves here by the choices that we made. We have the Father of Pentacles. Oops. At the root of this is the Father of Pentacles. Again, it was upside down. And I feel like this is... Okay, let's just keep going. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. It's interesting, I asked about money, and now all we're getting is Pentacles. We have the Star card in the sky. Okay. In the immediate future. We have the Four of Cups, how it's seen from the outside, the Eight of Cups, our domestic. Sorry, I thought I heard something crying. Our domestic situation, the Four of Wands reversed, our hopes and fears. All of these are reversed. Oh, this is weird. The Daughter of Swords reversed. Outcome, the Father of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Mother of Wands. And let's see what's underneath. The Ten of Wands. Okay. I don't like reading reversed cards, but I will take them into consideration this time. So there's definitely a sense of that, you know, again, I feel like this virus is a way for us to recalibrate the way that we even do the financial stuff. There's injustice, there is bad choices made, and those bad choices are based on the Father of Pentacles, which is the men who hold all the money upside down. In the past, we have this sort of beautiful, like, enclosed, the money held by the elite. Really, that's the Ten of Pentacles as a card is often keeping the money in the family and all that stuff. So there's this sort of like everything is kept in one place kind of energy. Now, what's in the sky is the star. Again, we see the star. It's very interesting that in both these readings, the star has a prominent position, and this is aspirational. And so this is about finding a new guiding star, kind of finding a new way of doing it. Now, in the immediate future, we have the Four of Cups. In this deck, the Four of Cups is generally not that terrible of a card, but in this deck, I feel like it's just not good, right? We have this rat sitting on top of the cups. Not that I have anything against rats, because I used to have a boyfriend who had a pet rat, and the rat was very, very sweet. They're actually great pets. They're very smart and very sweet natured. But sitting on, I would not want that rat sitting on top of my cups. You know what I'm saying? As sweet and loving as that rat was, it doesn't belong on top of the cups. And so what does this mean? I feel like I'm not really sure what this means. Let me see if I can pull another card for that. What does the Four of Cups, what is that trying to show us in the immediate future? I'll just use these cards to clarify. So we have the Four of Cups in the immediate future. It's the rat sitting on the cups. I need more elucidation on that because I'm a little stuck. Why not, right? Let's get some elucidation. I say other stuff, but I can't seem to get past this card. So what does this card mean for us? Oh. All right. Okay, there's the Five of Cups again, just like we had at the beginning of the other reading. The Eight of Wands. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this says to me, okay, now I understand what this card means. There's a rat, not that. a person rat, not a real rat, because rats are sweet. um, trying to protect, right? Trying to protect their resources, their cubs. So there is something happening now um, that is not necessarily concerned with the sorrow that the people are feeling. They're putting ideas out there, swift changes, so they can continue to hold the money. So this could also be them trying to stabilize the whole system this way. We have to be aware that they may try to do some quick stuff, and we're so ensconced in this virus that we're not noticing them changing the rules to make it better for them because they want to hold on to everything. That being said, this is how others see it. All the cups are broken. So this system, even though they're going to try to do it, and I'm sure they're going to succeed on some level, the ultimate outcome is that it will not work. The Four of Wands in the domestic situation is another sense, but it's reversed. Is another sense of sort of trying to. I'm sorry, my bird is screaming. Trying to bring everything, like pulling everything close together. They're trying to, like, I don't know how to explain it, like contract and hold it all together. The hopes and fears, we had the Page of Swords reversed. I think that's a fear that they're going to be found out. The Father of Cups, which is interesting because it was the Father of Cups was also the outcome of the last reading, right? Was reversed, which says to me that this isn't going to work for them. This isn't going to work for them. And then the Ten of Wands underneath it all. Let's see if there's anything else here. The Nine. Okay, so these are the three cards underneath it all. We have the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the smug merchant and all that stuff, and then we have the Tower card. So, okay, so this is what it feels like to me. The financial situation is being overturned because it isn't fair. And a lot of the financial stuff is happening with the people who have the money, who want to keep the money, but it's not going to work. These cards say to me that no matter what they try to do, they cannot. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't. People know. People are aware. This, I think, is the most important card in that reading, is that we have to focus on the world that we want to see. We have to have a new vision for the financial stuff. And it's not going to be the fact that, 1% or point something percent own the majority of the wealth. This is a turning point. This virus, on a certain level, I feel is Mother Nature's way of saying, guys, get over yourselves. You're all in this together. And if you want to survive and thrive, which you can do, you're going to have to let go of that which no longer serves. The root of the first reading underneath it all was the Death card, which is really what that's about. So what do? Well, we do our best. We wash our hands. We follow the instructions of the experts, the medical experts, the contagious disease experts. We find inner peace. We visualize the world that we want to see. We take care and we love those around us. Some people will lose people. Some people will lose their lives. On some level, it's all part of the plan. But I think what I get out of this reading is exactly what I just said. What do? We do that. And at the same time, we have a vision of the future that we want to create. And then we make the choices that will bring that vision to pass. There are choices out there that we can make that would make this happen a little bit faster. So do that. Make the better choices in your life. Don't allow fear to overcome you. Fear attracts the virus. So find your inner peace. The challenge, the High Priestess as a challenge card, is to challenge to find that inner peace, to find that place within where you can find balance, sort of bring yourself away from the chaos of the situation. And if we're all in quarantine, whether it's stay in place orders or whatever, we're being given a gift. And I know that a lot of people are saying, yeah, but how am I going to eat? How am I going to, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to have my car? How am I going to, that's all valid stuff. It's all valid stuff. But until we can not be in quarantine, there isn't much we can do about it, except we can control our minds and our hearts and our vision. And that's ours. They cannot take that away from us. I'll tell you an interesting story, a lesson I learned years and years ago. When I went to college, I went to Hofstra University, for anybody out there who's gone to Hofstra. And my first year, my parents didn't want to put me in the dorms. Probably a good thing, because I was like a babe in the woods. Boy, let me tell you, I was just like this little, know nothing about life girl, or baby, really. But so I ended up staying at a professor's house. She rented rooms to students, and she had been, she was a professor, Dr. Emery, her name was. She was a professor emeritus, but she had been Russian. I think she was Russian. And she had been put in a concentration camp. And they had everything taken away from them. She survived and eventually came to America. And the thing that she said to me was, she said, they took everything from us, but they couldn't take my mind. They couldn't take my thoughts. They couldn't get in there. That was mine. They couldn't take the knowledge away that I had. And so she came out of that experience with the only thing she had was the knowledge that was in her mind. So I think that, no matter what happens, we can, there are certain things that can't be touched unless we let them touch it. So wash your hands, take care of yourselves, have a positive mental attitude, eat food that's going to support your immune system, probably reduce the amount of sugar that you're eating. That would be good. Get some immune boosting stuff. There's plenty of stuff out there, Emergen-C or Airborne or whatever whatever you can do to boost yourself. Have a positive mental attitude. Take this time to meditate, find your inner self, connect with your angels, all of that. It's all very, very important. And it's almost like we're getting a vacation to do it. Although you're probably saying, oh no, it doesn't feel that way. And then maybe sit around with the people that you love and, and discuss it. Visualize what it is that you want to see. Have the discussion. Sit down with people. You're going to have to be at home with everybody anyway. And, find time to, just for a couple of hours, sit over dinner and discuss these things. And it's a perfect opportunity. So I hope that was helpful. I don't know if that was the kind of reading that you wanted. That's the kind of reading that came up. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again a little bit later. I'll be out of my jams. I feel as though we all need a lot of support, and I do intend to get back on a little bit later and do a little work with you guys. So take care, and see you later. Bye.